Hey everyone, we've just released Snaplet 0.1.0 that contains a new feature called JavaScript transformations. JavaScript transformations allow you to transform the data in your database using JavaScript. So how does that work? Over here I have a database, I have a public schema, I have a customer table, and I have some columns inside there. First name, last name, email. These are good candidates for replacing, especially if I want to code against them because they contain private information. So what I'm going to do is modify this transformations.js file in this Snaplet folder, and I'm going to return a structure that matches my database's structure. I have a public schema, I have a customer table, and then I want to return some values. So I want to return email. Oh, sorry, I need to register a function against this. It is a callback. So I want to return email. And instead of the email address, I want to return x@x.com. Instead of first name, I want to return John. Instead of last name, I want to return Snow. So now I've indicated that I want to change the data in my public schema, my customer table, and I want to change these columns to these values. But I should really validate my assumptions. In order to do that, Snaplet gives you a command called Snaplet proxy, which boots up a proxy which lives between your database and your database client and transforms the values in real time. I'm going to close this development database and I'm going to open up a connection to proxy. So here are the same tables. If I click on customer, you'll notice that the values are now modified. John, Snow, x@x.com, but that's not really valuable. It's just kind of, search and replace. What I want to do is use Snaplet's copycat library to generate deterministic static values based on an input. So here I can use copycat.email and I need to give it a value. If I give it the value 1, all the values here would always be the same, but we want to base that on input. So over here in customer, I actually have access to all the values in the database in the row, and I can do row.email, and now these values will always remain the same. Actually, I really don't want these to have any kind of case in them, so I'm going to do to lowercase, modify those to be smaller letters. I'm going to do the same for the first name, so I'm going to say copycat.firstname, row.firstname. I'm going to do the same for last name, copycat.lastname, row.lastname. So I validated through proxy that these are the changes that I want in my database. I now want to take these changes that I made to the database and share them with Snaplet Cloud so that when I create a snapshot that these values are used. You'll notice that proxy even provides helpful output. Here you can see a diff of the original value and the replacement value and the ones that weren't changed. So what I'm going to do now is type snaplet config push. That's going to take this transformation.js file and push it to Snaplet Cloud, which I can see over here. And now every single snapshot that I create will contain this new configuration